Hi, everyone. I'm Monique Denal with MD Consulting. At MD Consulting, we provide executive coaching to leaders by helping them determine their pain points and resolve those pain points. So this is just a quick micro training about a topic that has come up a lot in the coaching that I've been doing. Have you ever been promoted into a role that involves managing your former peers? A lot of my clients are facing this exact problem, and they come to coaching with that challenge because it's very uncomfortable for them. They've been promoted because they have the skill set, they have the knowledge, they have the capabilities to manage people. It's just that they were put in charge of people that were their former peers. So it's very awkward for them, and they're not always sure how to navigate that. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today if you're in this position or if you know someone who is. And these 3 tips are very commonly used by my clients as we brainstorm in coaching. So I know that they work well because I've seen it happen. So the first tip is when you are promoted into a position where you're managing your peers, you need to set boundaries. Now, many people were really good friends with their former peers. They had socialized time after work, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that has to end. But you need to set some boundaries that involve maintaining a level of authority. And that can be difficult, but it happens in conversation. Like everything, communication is very important. So you need to set those boundaries either with your new team as a group or in one-to-ones that you should be having with your new direct reports, or in other words, your former peers. And those boundaries can be very clear-cut. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out conversation, or they can be really made clear just in the everyday interactions that you're having with your new direct reports, with the decisions that you make, with the conversations that you have. They need to know that you are their boss, you are not their friend. Now, again, that is a very fine line because outside of work, of course, you can socialize with them and not discuss things at work, but all of that is in a conversation that has to happen with these people. Now, you may have a number of direct reports, but only 1 or 2 of them you seem to be having this struggle with. Maybe you were the closest to 2 of them before you were promoted. So it doesn't mean that you have to have these in-depth conversations with every one of your new direct reports, but it is important that you know and that they know that you are now in a position of authority. So that is the first thing to consider. The second thing is to set expectations, and it does go hand in hand with setting boundaries. Setting expectations means that you want to set performance expectations. You want them to understand what your expectations are now that you're in this role, whether it's deadline dates, metrics, things that they are supposed to be doing in their job. Those need to be laid out very clearly. Every leader has a different way of leading, and every leader has different expectations. So as soon as possible, when you're in the new role, you need to set expectations. That is one way of maintaining authority that I mentioned in the first point. The third important point is to exhibit that authority with empathy. And again, this even relates to the first point of setting boundaries. Just because you're setting boundaries and expectations doesn't mean you have to be cruel. Every leader needs to have empathy. That is a key component to leadership. So even though you're setting boundaries and you're setting expectations and you are exhibiting your authority, you need to do so with empathy and even compassion. And this can all be done while you're leading your new team. And these are all skills that are really challenging to navigate through, challenging to understand how to do it, when to do it, with whom do you do it with. That is the reason why a lot of my clients bring these kinds of challenges to coaching. They need some support. They need some help navigating these situations. So I hope these 3 tips have helped you to understand how to make your transition from being a peer to managing your peers. And again, please contact me for a breakthrough session if you want to talk more about this or any other challenge that you're having in the workplace. You can contact me at Monique@mdconsultingglobal.com, and I would be happy to talk to you. Have a great day.